Yes, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Saturday. We are blessed to have this evening to continue the discussion of what is happening in the country. Today, we'll be dwelling more on what happened in the Mount Kenya, where there's a lot of hostility that is being faced by political leaders allied to the president. We'll look into that. And also the race to AU. Raila is Kenyan's candidate, supported by some countries. Is finding it a little bit tough from his competitor from Djibouti. We'll also look into that, and also the possible alliance that might come between, Kalonzo and Gachagua and Gen Zs. We'll also have a look into that. So before we start, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the channel. This is with the Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Before I proceed, I have guest here with me, Mr. Miguda and Barak. I'll give them a chance to say hi before we proceed. Mr. Barak.
Good evening and welcome to Brother Benson Media. It's always nice to have you here joining our session and keeping us engaged through your contribution. And we are looking forward to having a very engaging session tonight. Thank you so much. And good evening also to Miguda and Mark.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Barak. Mr. Miguda, can also say hi.
Greetings to Mark, Barak, our esteemed viewers. Welcome to Brother Benson Media. Here we say your opinion counts. And also welcome those who are new in this channel. Kindly support the channel by subscribing. And you can share the video. You can also engage the panelists at the comment section. And also there are some ad videos. Do watch them. They are really very impactful to this channel. Karibuni sana.
Unajua, ukisema karibuni sana, nilikuwa nafikiria ya kwamba bado utaendelea kuzungumza, lakini kwa vile nilikuwa napata ugumu, finding it a little bit tough to understand whether you are still continuing or not. Anyway, karibuni wote watazamaji wetu na wale ambao wanatusupport in one way or another. Feel welcomed and be part and parcel of this media. Yeah, so my panelist today, I just wanted us to first look at the political behaviors of politicians in the Mount Kenya and what they are going through or facing on the ground. We've seen a lot of hostility, since the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president. The last that we saw not so long ago when the president, the former president, the current deputy president, and the former deputy president met in a function, and the mood of the people of Embu, they were not really welcoming to the president and even the deputy and all the allied members of parliament. And so this has been consistent. We saw it today again, where the deputy president and even the cabinet secretary, they're not really getting good reception in Mount Kenya. And you know, these are politicians. Somebody like Moses Kuria, Kindiki is the deputy president, and he comes from Mount Kenya. We'd expect, you know, that he would be loved and, you know, receive warm welcome. But we are not seeing that. So my question to you is, what is really happening? As the people revolted and said no to the move by the president to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, and why are they finding it tough to accept that there is a new deputy president in place? Why are they finding it tough to accept or to even listen to the cabinet secretaries, the likes of, you know, the advisors of the president, like Moses Kuria? Politically, what has changed in the Mount Kenya region? Mr. Barak and Megoda, kindly give us what you think is happening, because the politicians who are allied to the president are not finding it tough. They're not really comfortable even in their home area. They can't address the citizens. Mr. Barak?
Well, thank you, Mark. What has happened is that the people are reacting to what they believe is a betrayal of their son. And I think if you look at that specific meeting you talked about in Embu, the deputy president, you know, Embu is just next to Meru, and I think he's not being a politically smart. You know, politics is about perception. If he could have been a smart politician, he could have even ferried a sizable number of people from Tarakaniti to that meeting, so that when he will stand up, they will cheer him and they will make some noise the way they did to the former president. And, you know, he will create an impression that he's really loved on the ground. That's how politics works sometimes. You know, because what they allowed to happen created a perception that the ground is hostile. And you know what is transpiring after that event? You saw what happened today in Muranga. And you know, the ground will continue, because if people in Muranga behave, they say they behave today, the people of Nyeri will follow suit, and people of Kiambu. And so you'll find that in the entire Mount Kenya region, there's nowhere where they will be allowed to address people quietly. So I think they did not play politics very well in Embu, and it's working against them, because politics also has perception. And him becoming from Mount Kenya East, I believe also the people of Mount Kenya West feel like he's an outsider when it comes now to the real key, the house of Mumbi. So he might be coming from Mount Kenya, but he's not really a significant politician from Mount Kenya. And that's why we were seeing all these reactions and everything. And right now, you see that say that an enemy or a friend of my enemy is my enemy. So that is what they were trying to tell Moses Kuria today, that because they see Ruto as an enemy, and Kuria is a friend of Ruto, so automatically they treat him like an enemy. And for even them refusing the Kindiki speech to be read, you can imagine what if he was there now physically. So all these things are creating a very bad perception for the president and his team. And I think it is just the beginning. Things are going to be very tough for them in Mount Kenya region, and especially Mount Kenya West. And time will tell how this will end, because I even see that leaders who are still loyal to Ruto, like you see the likes of Irungu Kangata and this member who are still in UDA, they are going to get out of UDA very soon, because you remember Irungu Kangata is famous for being called Karangata Wabarua. He writes a letter about the ground, so he understands what the ground is saying. And I believe he's going to ship out of UDS very soon, especially after what happened today in Muranga. So let us prepare for political realignment, especially in Mount Kenya region. And remember, even before Gachagua was impeached, you remember what happened in Nakuru, when even Governor Kihika, Susan Kihika, he had to plead with the people, with the monarchs, to allow him to read the speech. So they understand the 10 counties of Mount Kenya region, the things are not rosy for leaders who are still in UDA and leaders who are still seen as being very close to Ruto. So they are going to ship out of UDA and distance themselves from Ruto's government for them to survive the coming election. And those who are going to stick with Ruto, I can assure you, their fate has already been sealed. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak, on that. Mr. Miguda, what is your take? The hostility that is being faced by close allies of the president, and remember, the president was a darling of the people of Mount Kenya, but of late things seems to have changed. What is your take? What is really, widening the gap or making it tough for the president and his allies to be accepted?
Thank you, Mark. First, let us agree that Mr. William Ruto lost the ground from Mount Kenya. He lost that ground when Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. Remember, before impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had already gone to the ground and speak to them. He spoke about William Ruto negatively. Even before he was fully impeached, he said that there was an attempt to poison him, to assassinate him. So all those words which Rigathi Gachagua said on the ground, they get directly to the people, and people viewed William Ruto as someone who has betrayed them. So first we have to agree that William Ruto betrayed the people of Mount Kenya, and they are living with that fact. When you asked about the issue of deputy president, in my view, there's a direct disconnect between Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and the people of Mount Kenya. Kithure Kindiki, is high time for him to realize that he is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and he is a politician. He is not a diplomat or a special envoy. If you want to play the role of a diplomat or a special envoy, the people of Mount Kenya are going to declare him persona non grata. Actually, they have declared him persona non grata. That is why he has been exposed that he is not smart politically. He is not smart politically because the fact is he's coming from Mount Kenya East. And when people are at Embu, we believe that that was one of these stronghold. He can use that opportunity to make the people to believe that he is one of the leaders in that region. That hasn't been done very clearly by Mr. Kindiki. And if you ask the issue of CS Moses Kuria and other government officials going to the ground to force people to love the president, in my view, that is very impossible. Because Uhuru Kenyatta tried it when he was using the likes of Mutahi Kagwe, former Cabinet Secretary for Health, was using people like Matiang'i, former Cabinet Secretary for Interior, to force the people of Mount Kenya. Joe Musheru from Nyeri, they were being used to force the people of Mount Kenya to vote for Raila. But the people demonstrated that they are sovereign. In this our case, the people have revolted and they're saying that they are the sovereign. The people supersede CS Kuria and government officials. Government officials has got no authority decide for the people where the people want to go. The people will decide by themselves, and the people have spoken. And it is reality on the ground. The reason could be, I believe that by the time Gachagua was in the process of impeachment, or when Gachagua came into office with William Ruto, Gachagua had already made a connection with the ground. That is why he was sabotaging the government within. You might view him as someone who sabotaged the government within, but he was making himself popular within the Mount Kenya region. When Rigathi Gachagua was advocating for 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, or when Rigathi Gachagua was talking about Usiguze Mrema, he was simply putting the interest of the community ahead of his own interest, or the interest of the community ahead of the other people. So he has been viewed as someone who is advocating for the people interest, particularly the Mount Kenya region. In my view, that alone make him more popular, and that is why they had to impeach him before he was going to be more popular than where he was. So Rigathi Gachagua still have that direct connection with the people of Mount Kenya to an extent that people are not persuaded or people are not convinced that Kithure Kindiki is the current deputy president of the Republic of Kenya or the leader of Mount Kenya region. Rigathi Gachagua made it very clearly and very clever. People might view him as someone who was stupid or someone who was foolish, but that was not the case. Rigathi Gachagua cleverly worked out very smart and made for himself a name. That is why he had a very deep connection with the people of Mount Kenya. Kindiki, in my view, the way I've said in my first point that he's acting like a special envoy or a diplomat. Here is a case whereby we have his politics. And politics, if it's a matter of playing the mud, you must get yourself dirty. That's when you play it smartly. But if you are treating if you want to be a diplomat or special envoy, the people will vote of no confidence against you, and they will declare you persona non grata. Marco Bura, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Megura, for that, explanation. But something else that is also you've talked about the political thinkings, the alignments, and so for that reason, I'm coming back to Mr. Barak. Since the impeachment of the deputy president Gachagua, the former deputy, you've seen him getting closer to Kalonzo Musyoka, and even if you see those who are close to Kalonzo, the former deputy president, they're saying that they need to work together, and they want to work together because they have a political interest. So my question to you, Mr. Barak, is with Kalonzo Musyoka, joining forces with Gachagua, and you've heard Kalonzo Musyoka, he has been talking about the Gen Zs, and he believes that the Gen Zs would give him a chance to would give him a chance. Actually, would support him his bid come 2027. He's really talked about the Gen Zs, and he believes in them. My question to you is: do you think, with the combination of Kalonzo, Gachagua, and the like-minded, they can manage to capture power? And something else that I also wanted you to clarify is, Kalonzo has been a supporter of Raila Amolo Odinga for quite some time. He's been consistent. And Raila Amolo Odinga is also vying for the AUC seat. My question to you is, should he succeed, are you seeing a possibility of the people of Luo Nyanza, giving support to Kalonzo Musyoka, being in mind of, having in mind that Kalonzo stood with Raila not once, 2013, 2017, 2022, and again with the help, should he clinch the AUC seat? The people would assume that he has been helped by one, the president. So, what should we expect? That is, if Raila wins this seat, and the thinking of the people, especially those from Nyanza region, when it comes to supporting the president, what would be your take on that? I've asked you two questions. One, the political combination between Gachagua, the Gen Zs, and Kalonzo, and that Kalonzo has what it takes, to win the presidency. And also the mix that is coming in, that is Raila being supported by the president, and also the people of Nyanza. Kalonzo is telling them that you have a debt that you need to pay. What is your take, Mr. Barak?
First, okay, I like the question. If does Kalonzo has what it takes to win the presidency, not to become the president, but to win? Everybody can become the president. By the way, become the president is not a problem. The problem is how to win the presidency. And remember, in 2020 election, we were confronted by two forces. That is, one force was led by Raila Odinga, another force was led by William Ruto. And Kalonzo, for the first time, seems like he can provide an alternative force when he formed One Kenya Alliance and together with Mudavadi and Wetangula. But because he was not seen as someone who can win the presidency. If people see that you don't have the potential to win, they usually backtrack and support whoever they believe can win. And because winning, you must prove that you have the potential, even for you to attract serious funders who can fund your campaign. Because Kenyan presidential campaign is not a walk in the park. It requires a lot of finances to campaign, to fund your campaign across the 47 counties. You don't just wake up in the morning and start saying that you want to become the president and win. So everybody can have that ambition of becoming the president, but who has the potential? Kalonzo has proven over time that he does not have the potential to win the presidency, and that is why he even aligned himself. Kalonzo has not started hoping on Gen Z right now, because Kalonzo has been hoping on getting support of other people who has the capacity for him to win the presidency. Let me take you back down the memory lane. When Kalonzo was kicked out of government together with the likes of Raila after winning the referendum in 2005, Kalonzo believed that they were having a very strong team, and he believed that Raila will support him in 2007 for him to become the president, because the ground was with them. And when Raila declared that he wanted to become the president, and Kalonzo developed cold feet, and you remember when they ran away with the ODM Kenya, together with Manzu, when Manzu refused to surrender the party certificate for Raila to present their nomination to ECK. So it forced the likes of Raila to look for an alternative party, and that's when now they went to the guy who had already registered the original ODM, and that's how they got down the ODM party to themselves. And when the 2027, Kalonzo said that he will pass through between Raila and Kibaki to become the president. And what happened in 2007 election, and Kalonzo sided with the Kibaki to become the vice president. And he did that hoping that the people of Mount Kenya, because he saved Kibaki's presidency, will give back in 2013 by supporting his bid. And remember, he was always reminding them that because he helped Kibaki's government to stabilize, he also looking forward to them to when times come for him to go to the polls, they will return the favor. Unfortunately, I remember even there's a day that Uhuru Kenyatta said in a function when he was the deputy prime minister, that there are some politicians who behave like hyena. They are walking side by side. When they see a hand going back and forward, they are hoping that hand will fall down for them to feast on it. That's the character of a hyena. So he does not want to go and hound the way lions usually hound for antelopes and zebras and any other thing. He's waiting for a carcass that a lion has already hounded for him to feast on. Now, when the people of Mount Kenya refused to return the favor, now Kalonzo was left with no option but to form an alliance with Raila Odinga in 2013. And it was obvious that even that alliance, there was no chemistry. If you look at Uhuru Alliance and you look at Raila Kalonzo Alliance, you could even see that there was no chemistry between Raila and Kalonzo. There was no enthusiasm, even for them winning. I think it was just by a miracle. And that's why you saw them being defeated twice in 2013 and 2017. Now, you remember after 2017 election and they fall out with Raila when Raila went to shake hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. And Kalonzo one day declared himself that he will be the most stupid politician to support Raila for the third time without any measure of reciprocity. And unfortunately, he proved that he is, because he supported Raila again in 2022. Even though he took so long to decide whether he's supporting Raila or not, but because Mudavadi had already ran away with Wetangula, he was left with no option but to come to Raila, because there was no any other alternative for him. And because I believe because Wetangula and Mudavadi saw there was no potential for Kalonzo of winning, they sided with Ruto, and you see Ruto went on to win the election. So it tells you that they were very right in their observation. Because if you are a serious politician and you know that you cannot be the president, then it is better for you to align yourself with someone who can win the presidency. So once he becomes the president, you will be part of the government. So that did not work out for Kalonzo, and he came in and he tried to complicate even the issue when Raila wanted to name his running mate. You remember the confrontation and the tension between Kalonzo and Karua. And until he decided, he was promised an existing seat that is called a Prime Cabinet Secretary, the one that Mudavadi is holding right now. And they did not win because of that back and forth. They failed. So when this Gen Z demonstration also started, Kalonzo was now hoping that because Raila was already joined Ruto's government, now he can be the one to benefit from this. Let me ask you, which constituency can you get these votes that we are being told Gen Z has? You know, for you to win the presidency, leave alone winning, you must have a solid constituency that you can bank on. That is why even if he is joining hands with Gachagua, he will be asked, because Gachagua has the Mount Kenya votes in his pocket. He will be asked, what are you bringing on board? And leave alone now the votes, even the finances, the financial muscles, do you have? If you want to know that you require these two, that is why Ruto went for Gachagua when he needed to win the presidency. And because Gachagua was bringing the two, that's why they joined hands, and you saw the results. On Raila's side, he took Martha. Martha did not bring votes on the table. He did not bring finance on the table. So you say, because he was banking on the financing of the Mount Kenya business community. So you see that Kalonzo does not have what it takes to win the presidency. So even if he say that he will join hands with the Gachagua will also ask the same question. What does Kalonzo has what it takes? So because you don't want to join hands with someone that will make you lose. You want to join hands with someone that you believe will make you win, and especially that they really need. They're so desperate to get Ruto out of government. They cannot gamble. They want to have a sure bet that if we join hands together, we can take Ruto out of State House. So it's not a child's play. It's not a child's play. It requires serious candidates to come and join forces together to ensure that they can really give Ruto a run for his money. And if you talk about even Gen Z, let me just, a serious Gen Z, Kalonzo joined parliament in 1985. I believe even Gen Z generation was not even, Gen Z started in, I believe, 1997, 96, 97. So he was in parliament more than 10 years before Gen Z were born. Kalonzo has been a vice president in this country, has been a minister for almost 5 ministries: foreign affairs, education, environment, I don't know what, home affairs, all this. He has served in all these capacities. What has he not done in all this capacity that now he wants to do with the support of Gen Z? Because, you know, we must ask these questions. What are you bringing on the table in terms of policy, in terms of even your capacity as a leader? Yeah. If you look at Kalonzo's track record, what stands out apart from what he claims that he was a peacemaker in South Sudan? what has Kalonzo done in Kenya, leave alone in South Sudan, that makes him stand out for him to say that he wants to join hands with Gen Z and be the president and even bring transformation? Because even part of the problem we're facing in this country, he is one of the sources of this problem. Under his watch, when he was a choir member of KANU, where they were saying everything was Ndio Baba, this country was messed up. When he was the vice president, what did he do that make him stand out? So, in short, what my point is, Kalonzo does not have what it takes to become the president. And even this alliance that they are hoping that they will have with Gachagua, I don't see it materializing, because Gachagua will also want to join hands with someone who has the potential to win an election, because they cannot risk by gambling if they have to ensure that after 2027 they'll be on the safe side. Because if they gamble and lose in 2027, I believe the last 5 years of Ruto government is going to be a hell on earth for them. That's my take.
You've not given us your opinion on what you think on, should Raila manage? And, Luos, or the people from Luo Nyanza, they've been seen as people who always give back when they're given something. They always, they always appreciate. And so this time round, I'd asked you a question that, should Raila manage to create the AU seat? There would be this thinking that, and even Raila himself, he'll tell the people that, what, I've been helped by the president, so kindly support him. But you remember, Kalonzo has also stood by Raila for so many times. How is this? How are the people who are coming from the Luo Nyanza going to, how are they going to go through this? Just your opinion before Miguda comes.
That slipped my mind. Okay, let me just be brief on this. Kalonzo has stood with Raila for 3 elections, and for this 3 elections, Raila has not won anything. So in short, he did not get anything. So he has nothing to give back. If you look at now, if you're talking about political debt, if you look at what Ruto gave to Raila in 2007 until he became the prime minister, it shows you who has given what to who. And if Raila wins the AU seat, it means that he's going to give back to Ruto, because it is Ruto who is going to give this seat to Raila, because Raila is the candidate of the Kenyan Republic, the Kenyan government. So it is Ruto that is going to benefit from Raila's win, because Raila's supporters, the constituencies that Raila represents, are going to stand with Ruto, because Ruto would have helped him to clinch the chairmanship of African Union Commission. So it is not Kalonzo who is going to benefit, because Kalonzo, even though Kalonzo will claim that he has supported Raila 3 times, but Raila has not won in these 3 consecutive elections. He has been losing. He has lost twice to Uhuru. He lost to Martha Karua. So not Martha Karua, to William Ruto. So he cannot claim that Raila's constituency owes him anything, because they've not been able to deliver anything to Raila. But Ruto delivered the premiership to Raila, and if he succeeds in delivering the AUC seat to Raila, then that will be something to bargain on. But you cannot claim that you supported someone who failed 3 times, then you want his constituency to back you, to give back support, and yet you did not fail when you are supporting. When Ruto was claiming that he supported Uhuru twice, and now it was time for Mount Kenya region to give back. He was right, because Uhuru won election not twice but thrice, in 2013 and twice in 2017. So they were very right. He was very right to demand for them to give back the favor. So Kalonzo does not have that moral authority to ask for Raila's constituency to give him back the favor, because they've not managed even once to win an election in that kind of arrangement that they've been having with Raila Odinga. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. I can see Miguda is laughing. Miguda, would you come in and give us your opinion on, what you think about the formation of an alliance between Kalonzo, Gachagua, and the Gen Zs, and what the people of Nyanza would think, when it comes to 2027 election, that is, should Raila Amolo Odinga, manage to clinch the AUC seat? What is your take?
The alliance between Kalonzo, Gachagua, and Gen Z, it all depends who is going to be the flag bearer, who is going to be the running mate, and what is the role of Gen Z in that alliance. Let's agree first that Gen Z had some specific demands from the current regime. Gen Z first, they came out in large number to reject the finance bill. And their demand were taken into consideration, and that finance bill was rejected in totality. You have seen some of the Gen Zs have been sorted out, and some believe that even though their demands have not been fully taken into consideration, but a good number has taken place, and some of them have back off. Some of them have started to join other political parties. Some of them are no longer interested in the work of opposition. So if we're talking about Kalonzo making alliance with the Gen Z constituents, that Gen Z, I don't see any Gen Z who is going to support that alliance, because even if you look at when the demonstrations were taking place, they were majorly in towns. The Gen Zs nowadays, some of them, they don't even come out for those demonstrations. It has gone back to online, social media, but on the ground, we are not seeing those Gen Z. That is illusional if Kalonzo is basing on the Gen Z constituents. When it comes to the Kalonzo and Gachagua, Kalonzo must come out if you want to be the president, or he doesn't want to be the president. In my view, just like Raila Odinga, Kalonzo does not want to become president of the Republic of Kenya. They just want to be in opposition, or they just want to be, maybe you can be prime minister or deputy president or vice president, because these two guys, they fear accountability. And when you're in opposition, there's no term limit. If Kalonzo could have become president in 2007, the way Barack has stated that he wanted Raila to support him to become president, by now he could be at home. But look at him, he's still in the politics of the country. He's being discussed as one of the candidates in the forthcoming election. It means that Kalonzo, just like Raila, they just want to have long life in politics. They don't want to become president. And the best way not to become president, just try to be in a position, try to play like the position of the deputy president. Do not try to be overambitious. You can just go to the ballot, but you are aware that you are going to lose. Kalonzo has learned that hard from Raila, and Kalonzo will still be here around for a long time. Him not becoming the president, he can fight, but he knows that he wants to be relevancy, just like Raila. So there is no way Kalonzo is going to convince people to support him, particularly the people of Mount Kenya, with the back of Gachagua. Gachagua currently is impeached. How is Gachagua going to support Kalonzo? In my view, the people of Mount Kenya want presidency. They do not want deputy president. Though they're just hiding behind Kalonzo, they're just hiding behind Ruto, but really in their heart, they want that presidency back. How sure are you that Kalonzo is going to become president for the next 10 years? He's going to give them back to the Mount Kenya people through Gachagua. And there are already propel leaders, new cropping leaders, which has been identified in the Mount Kenya. People like Irun Kangata, people like Didi Nyoro. These are leaders, if you give them 10 years, they will be more bigger compared to Rigathi Gachagua. How sure are you that with the dynamics of politics that Kalonzo, people of Mount Kenya will wait for Kalonzo to give them back that presidency? That is just an arithmetic and political formation which are being planned by the analysts and the people who are interested to bring these two together. How sure are you that Gachagua is going to support Kalonzo Musyoka? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. So in my view, Kalonzo Musyoka running against William Ruto, even if we can merge Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Raila Odinga, and the Gen Z constituents, this is just my honest opinion. I don't support that William Ruto is going to be the president for the second term. Remember, in this country, Kibaki was declared president with one province, that is Central Province, that is former Central Province in 2007. What can stop William Ruto from being declared president if these guys decided to merge against it? Because we understand that two of them, Raila and Kalonzo, they don't want to become president. So Gachagua want to become president. Gachagua is not going to run for the presidency. If you give that ticket to Raila Odinga or Kalonzo Musyoka, that is an obvious result that none of them want to become president, and they have demonstrated these guys fear accountability and they want relevancy because there is no term limit in a position, so they are not going to vie for those positions. You asked me about the question about Raila going to AUC. If in case Raila win that seat of the AUC, what is the status of the politics of people of Nyanza? The people of Nyanza will fail, but not even the people on the ground. They are leaders, they are current leaders. People who have been rewarded, people like John Mbadi or Pio Wandai, people who are governors in those regions, people like Ochila Yako, Wanga, Orengo, and current members of parliament. They will go back to the people and try to persuade the people that it is Ruto's effort that has made Raila to become the AUC chairperson. Let us give back to William Ruto because already we never voted for him, but he appointed our people into the government, and also he has made Raila Odinga the AUC chairperson. So with those all effort, let us give back to William Ruto. That is how the people will convince the people to vote for William Ruto. In my view, many people might not like William Ruto in Luo Nyanza. Many people cannot vote for William Ruto in Luo Nyanza. Politics is always dynamic. That's why I said even there's no need of you banking on the Gen Z constituents. Because the same Gen Z constituents, some of them are allied to Raila Odinga. Not all of them are partyless. Not all of them are tribeless. Not all of them have one common goal. Within the Gen Z, there's already division. Some have remained with the Inject Party. Some have gone to ODM. Some have gone to UDA. Even if you go to the ground to campaign, the youths, the people who will guard that rally, the people who are regarded as men in black, they are the Gen Zs. So they will be divided along their political interests. And you understand Gen Zs also, the way they are being used in politics. If a section of Gen Zs were saying that they cannot be used, it is you, Marco Bura, or me who cannot be used. But a good number of Gen Zs can still be used. They can be bribed. They can be used to fight other opponents. And it's happening. Even during the demonstrations, the Gen Zs, some of them were not having a good intention for demonstration. Some of them were never peaceful. Some of them did not go demonstration with a clear intention. And some of them destroyed properties. Some of them engaged into criminal activities. Even some of those Gen Zs hijacked their own demonstrations. The very Gen Zs were mobilized with some political leaders. So there is no uniformity to identify that Gen Zs will speak unanimously when it comes to 2022 general election. That is a fallacy. There is no room for Gen Z to go to speak unanimously. Gen Zs are allied to William Ruto. Even you, Makubura, some of our friends who are in this channel, you understand. The other day I called one of them out and has never come back to this channel. He is everywhere with William Ruto and the friends. Not only him, is with most of his friends who are Gen Zs. So to be realistic, when Raila is going to win the AUC, the people of Nyanza or the Luo people are going to be convinced through their leaders to back William Ruto for the second term. That's a reality. And if Raila lose the AUC, because we can't say that he's going to win it, in case that Raila lose that AUC, that's why I told you that Raila and Kalonzo Musyoka, They have demonstrated they don't want to become president. In my view, Raila will still come back to run for presidency for him to be relevant. Raila has been thriving through elections, and through election is very relevant. And through election, that is what has been making him to move on. I do not see a scenario where Raila is going to sit down in the country and this election coming, and already he has lost the AUC. In my view, Kalonzo should just be honest with the people of Kenya whether he want to become president or not. If you want to play the politics of relevancy, we wish him all the best. But if you want to become the president, let him look for a new path, not the one he's following.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you are new here, we are requesting you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel because it is a way of supporting us. We will really appreciate. And if you subscribe, whenever we're having this kind of discussions, you'll be notified and you'll be following what we are talking about. If you're also interested in joining the panel, you can also text us and we'll share with you. We can get time and also host you. You share with us what your opinion is. Mr. Barak, I wanted to read some comments here. Gypsy Connor is saying, Kalonzo Gen Z, are you kidding me? You are deep in giving second term to Ruto. There's also this comment here. The Gen Z gelling with Raila, Kalonzo, and even Gachagua is a mix. Will be the fastest slide to the gutter. You can never trust a recycle bin. Okay. Man, this animal is cutting trees too in Karora. Okay. Right. There's also a comment here from Gypsy. How is Kalonzo going to unite people when he only concentrated on his backyard? Kalonzo is suffering from fear of traveling to parts of Kenya apart from Ukambani land, the Kamba land. Okay. KK is saying Kalonzo is part of political class we need to remove. And or he look for work like all Kenyans. Kenyans don't belong to the political class. Okay, please explain to us how Kalonzo supported Raila. Both Raila and Kalonzo have made sure that they support each other because they don't like exposed leadership, but second fiddler without responsibilities. Okay. Okay. Okay, Judith is saying that Kambas will always go with Luos, not people of Mount Kenya. Si hata nyinyi mnaona Luos na Kambas not only Damari but also political allies. Okay. Mambo ndio hayo. So I'll give you a chance to respond to the comments before we move to the next question. Mr. Barak.
Well, I think it is true that banking on Gen Z and Kalonzo's, I don't know, is it a coalition or whatever, an imaginary coalition, is one way of ensuring that Ruto wins very early in the morning, even before we started voting. And if we want to ensure that we get a candidate that can give Ruto a run for his money, then we should talk about serious candidates and not Kalonzo and Gen Z. And I agree with the Gypsy Corner that Kalonzo only banks on his Ukambani backyard, and it's unfortunate because even if you look at politicians who support him so passionately, is a Kitui Senator Kio, Eno Kwambua, and Makueni Senator Manzu, who ran away with ODM Kenya in 2007. So, these are the people who are supporting him so passionately. And because they even know that if they don't do that, come 2027, they will not make it back to Senate. And you know, Kalonzo and Raila, I think there's a comment here that I don't know if it meant that they ensure that people who are elected in their backyard are not leaders who are development oriented and are not leaders who can transform their societies, but are leaders who are playing loyalty to them, who are sycophants. And that is what is going on in these regions. Just look at leaders who are support. You remember when Manzu said that Adani supported Raila's campaign financially, and Kalonzo the following day told him to apologize. So you see, they even trying so much to speak issues to talk about issues that they don't even understand, just to please their political godfathers, so that they are seen that you are the one who is defending me so much, so you are guaranteed a direct nomination come 2027. And you can even see that there is no objectivity in terms of issues. Even when you remember during the impeachment motion of Gachagua, there was no objectivity. They were just voting because the party leader has said that you oppose, you just oppose. And even when the other party leader said that you support, you just support. So there is no objectivity even in these leaders. And this is what Raila and Kalonzo has created even in their political parties. And I wish that Kalonzo can get out of that, but I know he cannot, because he don't want to be a serious candidate. He don't want to be seen as someone who has potential to lead. He just want to survive in that small political party and continue that he micromanages Ukambani politics. That is Makueni, Kitui, and Machakos, and he gets a few people there who are elected. Then he continue getting political party funds. So sometimes it's called survival tactics, as you wait for the sun to set in the evening in your life. But there is no potential in him winning anything serious apart from doing Kalongolongo, the one that they are doing right now with the likes of Eugene and Kioni, and they are really hoping that Gachagua will support them, but I don't see that happening. They are also begging when Natembeya to join forces with them. I don't think Natembeya is very keen on that, because she should be now keen on securing his second term in Trans Nzoia. But they are just begging for people to come. Please come and join us. You know, in politics, if you have potential, you attract people. You don't beg people to just support you. You attract people, because people know that if we don't align with you, we cannot win. But you know, when you hear a politician always begging that I will look for friends, just know there's a problem, because serious politicians attract friends. They don't look for friends. You remember in 2022, there are people who went looking for Ruto, the likes of Mutua, Kingi, Wetangula, Mudava. They went looking because they saw potential in this guy. And that potential is what attracts people to you, because they see potential and they know that you can deliver. And that is what is lacking in this team. I don't know, it's called, they don't have a name yet, but they still hold on to Azimio. But Raila also has gone on with Azimio. And you know, you must show potential, and that is what is lacking. And I believe that they don't have the capacity even to show that potential. And I can assure you, even Mutio Mtata can pull up a big surprise that can even render all these people irrelevant politically. I can assure you that. And you know the route that Mutio Mtata is taking is a very serious political route. That give him time. Before 2027, you will see a force to reckon with. And nobody will even be talking about Kalonzo and Kioni and unless they align themselves. They go now begging Mukia for them to support him. Because, you know, even when you become a serious candidate, you also evaluate people that you want to associate yourself with, because others will be baggages. They will bring baggages on you, and they will even become problems to you. So you are better off without them. So I think I agree with many comments in the comment section that Kalonzo is part of the problem that we are supposed to deal with as a country, by ensuring that we remove them from the political equation. And I hope that this 2027 election is going to be their last election to be seen near any political influence, even in their own home counties. Because even if you go to Kitui County, I can assure you, those people are not happy with the leadership they have in that county because Kalonzo imposed a leader on them. If you go to even in Machakos County, where Wavinya Ndeti is the governor, just talk to the people of that. They will tell you things are not right because the political godfathers decided who becomes the governor. The same thing with some counties in lowland. So you see that we have leaders who are imposing leaders or governors on the people, and these governors are not performing because they believe they will secure their second term through supporting the political leaders, but not serving the people who are elected them. So it's unfortunate, and I believe that going forward, this will not going to happen in this country, and we are going to have leaders who are going to serve the people who elected them and not the political godfathers. That's my take. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. I can see a comment from Kamose. Kamose is saying, agree with me that Ruto made one big mistake, removing Gachagua, Adani deal. People are against him totally. Okay, there's also a comment here from our good friend, Mr. Eric Kayaga. Many political analysts don't think beyond the box. By observing current political happenings around the world, people are voting in protest against the current regimes. He's also saying that don't get surprised when in 2027 we have a president who isn't too many political bandits. The US election is such. Trump won by far, yet people were saying neck to neck. Okay, thank you, Mr. Eric. And Kamose, I think I'm seeing your comment for the first time. If you are still there, kindly subscribe to the channel so that whenever we're having these discussions, you'll be notified. And then you'll join and be part of Brother Benson Media. And here we say that your opinion counts. Mr. Migunda, what do you have to say on, what do you have to say on this, about the comments that we've just read?
I'll respond to two. One from Jeb Saikona, the second one from Judith Karita. Jeb Saikona has talked about the issue of Kalonzo, Gen Z, and how it's going to be popular. First, Gen Z they have never said that they can vote for Kalonzo. Gen Z have been having different candidates on their proposal. They have proposed Matiang'i, they have proposed Okiya Mtata, they have even proposed David Maraga. So there is nowhere Gen Z once proposed Kalonzo Musyoka. So I don't know where is this wave coming from that Gen Z once said that they can support Kalonzo Musyoka jointly with Rigathi Gachagua. That's why I said it's a fallacy, and Kalonzo should not bank on the Gen Z constituents because Gen Z have never proposed on voting for Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka should either be serious and join impactful forces if you want to become the president, but if you want to continue this usual politics, which we know for him to become relevant, we wish him all the best. Judy has said that Luos will always support Kambas, Kambas will always support Luos, and she has linked it even to the marriage setup, that Luos are currently marrying Kambas, and Kambas are marrying Luos. We wanted to link Luos with the mountain people. We said that the lake should meet the mountain. But it was very unfortunate that the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, said that Musiguze Murima. So Luos ran away from Murima and went to Guza Kamba. That could be the reason. Back to you, Makobura.
Okay, thank you. My last question to you, Mr. Barak and Miguda, is you've talked about Omtata, and Omtata is said to have, he started energizing himself, and he has a group of some experts who are trying to look at his possibility, and he's trying to advise him on how he can clinch the presidency. Not so many weeks ago, we saw Dr. Fred Matiang'i also trying to come. He's trying to use some international whatever because he's also interested in presidency. Sometimes back Morara himself pia alisema ya kwamba anaenda for presidency. And so People are talking about presidency, Mr. Barak. Combination of the likes of Matiangi, the likes of Tata, the likes of Babu Wino, Nini, Nyoro, and all these people. Can they get out, William Samoei Ruto? And maybe before you come in, I'll also share a link. I can see KK wants to join. Because this is my last question, after you would have answered after you'd have given your opinion, and Miguda gives his opinion, I'll also give KK a chance to give his opinion before we close. Mr. Barak, you can give your opinion. The issue of presidency iko kila mahali, and we're seeing very serious people wenye walikuwa wametajwa na majenzis, the likes of Omtata, Dr. Matiang'i, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, serious young political leaders, the likes of Kina Babu, Kina Kebaso, people wants to go for presidency. Hata mimi pia msiponiangalia vizuri hivi karibuni, I'll also unveil the ways that I've, Mr. Barak, kindly give us your take.
Well, I think, everybody...
Just a minute before you come in, this KK asked for a link. I've shared the link, but I'm kindly asking you that if you join, let my panelists finish and then you come in. I'll give you a chance. But you can join. I'll give you a chance. Mr. Barak, you can go.
Well, thank you, Mark. I believe every Kenyan who meets the constitutional threshold to become to vie for the presidency are free to strategize, to plan, and to vie. And the only difference that it brings is this difference between vying and winning. And everybody wants to vie, and I don't know, others have not even read the constitutional requirement of vying as the presidency. This the Gen Z is making other people to become very excited. Once they hear their name is mentioned, they believe now they can throw in their hat and try their luck. It is a good thing. It's only that you need to be sure, because being the president of a country is not a walk in the park. And it's not something that is so simple the way people tend to take it. You remember even Ruto thought it was easy, and right now he's really having a very difficult task at the house on the hill. So you can lie to people, you can say anything, you can try to do all the things that you can do to ensure that you amass yourself votes that can enable you to become the president. But now, if you, after winning the presidency, now leading, that's why now we draw the line. I believe people have potential to win. People can use different strategies to win, as long as they meet the constitutional requirements to vie. It is within their democratic right to vie, and it also ensures that they also perform their democratic duties of ensuring that they participate in electoral processes, either by vying or by voting. Now, I am impressed by what Omtata is doing. The only problem I have is that these are names that were being mentioned by Gen Z. So you hear Omtata was mentioned, Matiang'i was mentioned, Morara Kiboso was also mentioned. So, if that is the only reason why they want to vie, then I think they better think twice. Because, if you have a girlfriend who is with you, but he's always talks about Miguda, tomorrow he talks about the KK, and the other person he talks about Eric, you must ask yourself, where is loyalty of this girl? Is she even worthy to walk down the aisle? Because, if you are with having a girlfriend who is always talking about other men, if another one passes with a Mercedes, that is not my man. If another one comes back with a Range Rover, that's my man. You need to ask yourself questions. That is how Gen Zs have been behaving. Today, they are supporting Matiang'i. They want Matiang'i to vie. After 2 days, now they want Omtata so badly that Omtata should vie even yesterday. It's even too late to vie. Before Omtata wakes up, Morara Keboso is here. Now, this is our prince. In fact, he's now the newest boy in the town. So you must retrace your steps and ask yourself, this guy is really serious. And even now, leave alone now, are they even registered voters? And where are they really? If you call for a rally at Uhuru Park, will they even feel that park? And if they feel it, will they wake up in the morning and go and line up and vote? Because you don't vote online. Kenyans, we don't have that online voting option. We go to the polling station, we line up ourselves, and we cast our votes. Are they capable of doing that? So before you are excited because Gen Z's mentioned your name, can you ensure that you have the capacity and you have also alternative ways of looking for votes? Because if you come on the table without having a constituency that you can bank on, then I think it's going to be an exercise in futility. Because the presidency, even people are comparing with the Trump. Trump had a constituency that he banked on since 2016. So that constituency stood with Trump even in 2020, even when he lost. They did not stop supporting him. So it is the chaotic way of Joe Biden's leadership that now enabled Trump now to get the swing votes on his side. But he had a constituency who believed in his ideologies. So my question to those people who are declaring their candidature right now, do they have a constituency that they can bank on? People who believe in the ideology. In fact, do they even have ideologies? Because apart from Matiang'i being a messias for education and information education and in terms of security, do you even know his ideology? Because he served as a civil servant, as CS. He was not a politician, so he has not been a politician in this country. So do you even understand his ideology? Do you know what he stands for? We know Mtata has been fighting for Kenyans in terms of litigation, going to the judiciary, and he has won so many cases in favor of the public. At least we have one to two things to say that, okay, he has been standing with the public. And when we ask questions about the leadership style of Matiang'i, you know what happened in this country when he was the CS for security. Yeah, you know what happened and how many bodies were being found in Rivayala and any other places, and they never came out clear to tell us what happened. So before you tell us that someone is suitable, even if you are a Gen Z and you are supporting these people, can you tell us that they've been held, they've been accepted to be held to account on how what happened during their tenure in office in terms of security dockets? Morara Keboso, okay, I think that is just a content creator. I don't think we should even be talking about his candidature, because for me, I believe he's a content creator, and he's someone who has got an opportunity to create wealth using the opportunity that he got. And with the time, I believe we will start seeing now serious candidates coming out, and we'll now start separating jokers from candidates who can win the presidency. And if we are not careful, I can assure you, these jokers are going to be joking here and there, 2027 will come, Ruto will win his second term, and will continue singing the same song until 2032. And we'll be going round in circle, because we are not seeing serious men and women coming out to give an alternative. They're just hoping that because Gen Z's mentioned their name, they can capitalize on that and become president. It doesn't work like that. You must have a constituency that believes in you, that believes in your ideology, that can stand up and even advocate for you as the leader, and they can even influence others to vote for you because they believe in you. And even they can also even give you their resources to stand with you and campaign for you so that you clinch the presidency. Otherwise, I only see jokers around. But time will tell if their jokes are going to be serious or they're just going to be serious jokers. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Barak. Just hold on. Mr. Miguda, what is your take on the issue of Mtata, the issue of Fred Matiang'i, Kebaso, and many others who are still coming? Give us your take, and then I'll also give Mr. KK a chance after you to give his take, and then I'll come back to you, Mr. Barak.
Thank you, Makobura. The people who have been fronted by Gen Z, they first fronted Okia Mtata. Okia Mtata, I don't want to talk too much about him because he's well known of representing the public into the courts whenever there is an interest that attach the public. And there are questions we can ask. Who has been behind Omtata? Maybe he has been sponsored by certain organization from outside, or maybe he has been sponsored by internal politicians. So whether it's genuine or not, we cannot tell. Talk about the issue of Matiang'i, and I talked to you on our 3 videos that have passed. The fact that Gen Z was supporting Matiang'i, we still have some question to ask about this guy called Matiang'i. And I told you that the fact that Matiang'i recited over the examination and he ensured that there was temporary cancellation of the exam cheating. But Matiang'i also never gave us permanent solution on cheating in the exams because exams never stopped. The cheating of exams never stopped. People are still cheating even when Matiang'i get out of that office. So he never provided a permanent solution of that issue of exam cheating. If at all it was genuine, he only provided temporary solution within that period. If he could be a good leader, he could have provided permanent solution when it comes to the exam cheating. The same Matiang'i, when he was given the docket of internal security, he presided over the killing of Kenyan and were dumped in River Yala. There were questions which were asked for him to respond. He never responded. There are some atrocity the guy committed while he was that office. So we cannot just give him that he is effective leader. He has provided for us, he has presented his vision for the people of Kenya so that we can elect him. When you talk about David Maraga, they are fronting him because he presided over judiciary when the judiciary were making decision by nullifying the result of Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember that nullification of the result of Uhuru Kenyatta was not a one-man show. It was the decision of the majority of the judges. It was 4 against 2. 2 were dissenting and 4 nullified that result. So it was a unanimous decision of the majority. It was not a one-man show. And there is nowhere David Maraga has expressed himself that he wants to become president, and he has presented his vision to the people of Kenya. There are some people, you have quoted people like Kebaso Morara. I don't know about him very well. I'll not go deeper into him. What I wanted to say, the Gen Z constituents, whereby they have fronted new faces in terms of the people who want to become the president, cannot work out because I believe that power attracts. Power will always attract. And currently, the person with the power is President William Ruto. Gen Z, some of them will go and support William Ruto because of the power. That power will attract them automatically and support William Ruto rather than these candidates they are fronting for the people of Kenya. That's why we're saying Kalonzo cannot bank on the Gen Z constituents. Majority of the Gen Z constituents are going to support where power is. The same Gen Zs who some have graduated to be millennial supported the President William Ruto because President William Ruto by that time was going around the country giving out cash to the people. Even if Gen Zs, most of them are unemployed. And when that work will be rolled out for the IBC, the obvious work like the clerk, the PO, most of the people are going to carry out those tests at the Gen Zs. And there is no surety that all Gen Zs are registered voters, and all of them are going to vote for a particular candidate. Gen Zs are still going to be divided. And right now, they are even divided. That's why you have seen some people have remained in the inject. Some people have gone to ODM. Some people have gone to join the UDA comrades. I do not believe that Gen Zs will just follow someone who do not have power. That's my view.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda, for that take and comments. Mr. KK, long time. Karibu, Brother Benson Media. Kindly give us your opinion.
Asante sana, semeni mkoaje?
Tuko salama, twashukuru.
That's good. Good to see you guys. I think I will echo one of the guests. I don't know, it's the one ametoka nini. I think you are underestimating what our people are seeing. Our people, especially the younger people, your ages. A lot of people hawana kazi. They are following what is happening in our country. And oh, sorry, what did I cut off? Amekatikia wapi? So niko nasema, I think mna underestimate what our people are seeing, what they're going through. When you're 30, you can get married, you can have kids, and you're hopeless. Those are the people complaining. Let's be honest. It's not even the middle class. It's those people. Now, wamesoma, don't forget, wamesoma. So please do not underestimate the pain that our people are going through. The jokers, like Morara, you keep mentioning here, is a joker, is a con man. And I can tell you that from my interaction with him, my conversation with him. So I will echo one of our guests who said, we have to focus with serious people. Omtata has been acting. Hataki any attention. He went to courts. Even before this Ruto regime, he went and followed things. His actions do not have any question for anyone. Those are the kind of the people that we need to talk about, give air. The likes of Kalonzo, political conmen have to go. These are the same people wametuweka kwenye tuko. We are in this place because of this political class. All of them have to go. And some of us, even here, go where you're from, run for office. Even me, where I'm from, go run for office. Because as people like us who care about our own home, our own people, we are the only kind of people that we care about our own people, not money. We do not need any credential. Hatutaki kutambuliwa. Watu care about the other people. The ones who care about the weak, the poor, the sick of our people. Those are the kind of people we should be discussing. And I'm not saying it's wrong to discuss like Morara, Kalonzo. Those are jokers. Matiang'i. Oh, what's the name of the other guy who was a CIA person who was killing people?
There's Dr. Matiang'i, there's Kebaso, there's Omtata. So far, they have declared that they're going
Matiang'i, that guy is even worse than Ruto. He's just smarter. He's well thought. Ruto is not very smart. He's a moron, but he's an angry, evil person. Matiang'i might not be that person. So let's not even entertain this kind of jokes. We need people who care about our own people. People who care about our own people. So I think so far, according to what I have heard, I think Omtata is the only person. And the other guy, Onyonka. Omtata and Onyonka, those are the only serious people we have in our country. Watu wanawajua, their actions are questionable. Their characters are unquestionable. Those are the only kind of people we should be discussing and we should be giving air to. Because ukianza hii mchezo, Kebaso is another conman. He's a mini Ruto. And I told him that. So wache kucheza. Hii mchezo, this is where we end up in the same quagmire, going back in circles of talking, giving people, unserious people in life, leading a country. Leading a country is not a joke. We need somebody with a record. We can go back and see what you did, where you were when the issues were bad. And I know some of us have our own agendas, which is fair. We are all human beings. We all have our intents, goals, purposes. But our country is in shambles. We need serious people to help fix our country from where it is. And it will take years to fix the damage Uhuru and Ruto has done, especially Ruto. And before I conclude, I want to, because this is very special to me. Isaac Ruto is cutting trees in Karura, the indigenous trees that takes 200 years to mature. He's cutting them now. We need to deal with these people. We need to deal with these people. Last year, there was a huge drought. Whatever this person is doing right now, the next drought will be worse. Let's be careful. Let's not joke around. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. KK. Mr. Barak, are you still there? Mr. Barak? Hello, Mr. Yes, okay. Mr. Barak, I have a question for you. We haven't seen I can see Miguda is also back. I had this question. The issue of Kenyan politics, and there's a politician that we've not seen for quite some time, Gideon Moi, the party leader of KANU, and the KANU as a party. We haven't seen them making stands, fighting for the people of Kenya, making political stands, preparing for the next election. Where did Gideon Moi disappear? Where did he go? And together with the party, KANU walikuwa naita chama ya baba na mama, imepotea wapi? Utaniambia hiyo. Alafu tena, there's a question here that I saw one of us aliuliza. There's a question mwenzetu hapa aliuliza kwa comment section that in the event Raila endorses Kalonzo and with regard to Gachagua supporters, what could be the possibilities of that? You'll also give us your opinion on that. And also, just that maybe. Then later on, if you'll still be strong enough, I can give you another last question.
Well, Raila cannot. I don't believe the Raila that I know can endorse Kalonzo, because we know Raila and we've seen how he has been doing his politics. He will never do that unless in his dream or something else. Raila believes that he's the best to lead, and if he's not there, then he will just allow things to happen the way they will happen. But he will never take that risk of endorsing Kalonzo, because I can assure you that even his handlers cannot allow that. These politicians, they have their handlers that almost decide for them what they do and how they do it. So Gideon Moi and KANU, KANU is the genesis of Kenyan's problems. From 1963 to 2002, KANU ensured that this country sucked to the bottomless pit. And I think it is good that they are silent. They let them just be quiet the way they are quiet, and let them just get finished, and let us not hear about KANU again. Because when we hear KANU, it brings bad memories about the dark days of Kenyan history. And you remember even when Uhuru wanted to become the president, he was the chairman of KANU. He had to leave KANU and go and form a different party called the National Alliance, TNA, for him to become the president, because it was impossible for him to use KANU as a vehicle to acquire power. So KANU is part of the dark history of this country. And fighting for Kenyans, KANU is not able to do that because they've never fought for Kenya. They used this country to acquire wealth for those who are in power, then to torture, to kill, to even to force people to exile. So we don't want to remember the things that KANU did for this country from 1963 to 2002. So let them just disappear the way they've disappeared. And Gideon Moi, being the son of Moi, you know, I think let him just keep quiet wherever he is. He should not even come back and start telling us anything about fighting for Kenyans. And another thing is that Ruto.
There's a comment here from our good friend Douglas Kibogong. Kibogong is saying that Alo Aringo was a member of KANU and he was really praised.
He was praised. I believe he was praised when he died. There's this. I think it. I don't know if it is African or it's just. I don't know if it's something that the fear of unknown. When people die, we are afraid to speak the truth. We praise them even when we know that they were thieves. We just say how they were good people. They used to help people who are in need. They used to do what we call them the men of God, and they are going to heaven. So that is not a measure of goodness. People who are good, we know that we can look at their track record. We know what they did, and we know whether they stood by Kenyans or they didn't. We know whether they stole for Kenyans or we know whether they abused Kenya, whether they abused their offices. So don't go to a funeral and start collecting data. You will get wrong information, because in funerals is where people lie the most. Even men men of the cloth lie in the funerals. I don't know, because of fear of unknown, because they thought maybe this person will wake up and maybe bring nightmares to them. But the fact is, Ruto is not Ruto. KANU is part of the dark history of this country, and the more we forget about KANU, the better for this country. Back to you, Mark.
You've not given us your opinion on the comment. There was a comment that in the event Raila endorses Kalonzo,
He cannot. I said he cannot.
Okay.
Don't even dream that Raila can endorse Kalonzo. He cannot. I'm telling you. We studied Raila's politics and his style of leadership. He can't do that. And if you want to know that cannot happen, just listen to Junet Mohammed. What Junet Mohammed says about you remember when there was rumors that ODM was to join government, and Orengo was like he didn't want ODM to join government. Do you remember what Mbadi said in Homa Bay? He said Luos cannot join Kalonzo because Kalonzo is not taking them anywhere. Remember those comments? And few days later, they were named as cabinet secretaries. So I am telling you, Raila's handlers cannot even allow him to do that. So anybody dreaming that Raila can endorse Kalonzo for anything, forget about it. Raila that we know cannot do that. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Miguda, what is your take on the union in the event Raila endorses Kalonzo and Rigathi supporters also join hands, and also the absence of Moi and KANU? What do you have to say about that?
Thank you, Makubura. The issue of Raila endorsing Kalonzo, if you are in ODM and you imagine or you think of Raila endorsing Kalonzo, that is treason. That is capital offense in ODM. You are going to be charged with treason. The likes of Junet and allies cannot allow you to have that opinion of Raila endorsing Kalonzo. In what capacity? because right now, Raila has already donated his expert to the KK government. Already, they are enjoying the fruits of KK government, people like Pali. How are you going to persuade them to endorse Kalonzo? And they have made it very clear that Kalonzo is not taking them anywhere. And they have made it very clear that they will not apply the political theory. They will apply the practical one, whereby Ruto is the president and they have to join that cabinet. Raila is not going to endorse Kalonzo, and Raila will not endorse Kalonzo. Raila considers himself as the super leader whenever he is, so there's no way he's going to endorse anybody. That is not going to happen. The issue of KANU missing in action and Gideon missing in action, my take will be a bit different from Barack. I believe that KANU, chama cha baba na mama, died, but the product is still around. The product is circulating. William Ruto is a product of KANU. Rigathi Gachagua is a product of KANU. Odinga is a product of KANU. Kalonzo is a product of KANU. These are the problems you are having. The product of KANU is the current problem facing Kenyans. KANU has been a problem since 1963 to 2002. But the current problems are the product of KANU. KANU is dead, is as dead as Dodo, but the child is around struggling to make Kenyans have so much problems. The only person is missing is Gideon Moi, but all the people who are in control of the ship are the product of KANU. So KANU is still around with us. That's why they are struggling to implement the Constitution of Kenya 2010. They are not used to it because they operated under the repeal constitution. So do not ask about KANU. KANU is around. The product of KANU is around. Whenever we'll get overhaul of the whole system, that's when we'll be done with KANU.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, we are requesting you to kindly subscribe to the channel. It would be a way of supporting us, and we really, really appreciate. I can see Patrick Kariuki at the comment section saying Kalonzo Natembea Gachagua coalition itakuwa fire 2027. Patrick Kariuki, if you've not subscribed, tunakuomba kindly before you leave, just subscribe so that whenever we're having these conversations, utakuwa unatuona na pia you'll be following. Before I give Mr. KK a chance to also give us his opinion, I think he'll give his opinion, and then Mr. Barak, I'll come back to you. You'll give us your final remarks, and you may good, and then we'll close. Mr. KK, what do you have to say?
What do I have to say on what, bro?
On the issue of the absence of KANU, and together with their party leader, and also the possible union that we are seeing. We are seeing the the impeached deputy president and Kalonzo. They are like coming up with a political party. They are in a good. They're in good mood, trying to come up with a political party. What do you have to say? Do you think they will manage?
First of all, I honestly don't know. And I would try to think about something else. Because our watu hatusaidii. And we have to keep pushing this to our people. Our watu, Kalonzo has been in power since I was born. Karua Singh, Orengo Singh. These are the same people who have made our country to this kind of madness that you can see somebody selling an airport. These same people. So I think we need fresh patriots who care about our country. And I'll go back to the same Omtata. And let's not give jokers a time. Kalonzo is a joker. Raila is a joker and a conman too. hao watu ndio wametufikisha where we are. So let's focus on people who with characters, qualities that you can sleep at night knowing there's a grown-up running a country. So I would rather not engage in that talk. Thank you. Thank you for giving me time to contribute.
Okay, thank you, Mr. KK. Barak, I'll give you a chance to give us your last remarks. But as you give us your last remarks, kindly comment on the post by Patrick Kariuki. He's saying Kalonzo Natembea Gachagua coalition itakuwa fire. And from just where you are, you can also give us any possibility that you see. Let's say ukiona mtu kama Mtata kuje na nani, then there's a possibility. You can also give us just a prediction of what you think, and then you'll close with your last remarks.
Well, my comment on Kalonzo Natembea Gachagua coalition itakuwa fire, I think that's just an imagination. And I don't see how Natembea is focused on winning his second term as a governor of Trans Nzoia County. So he's not focused on national politics at this moment, because it will be not politically smart to leave Trans Nzoia to come at the national level after only serving one term. And you know, the national politics is very complicated. You can't know what will happen. So for the only option for him is to secure his second term first. Then maybe in 2032, that's when he will be focusing on national politics. So for now, leave Natembea out of national politics for now. And I don't see any Kalonzo and Gachagua having a coalition that can bring fire to this nation. Those are just imagination of people who are still healing from the impeachment of Gachagua. They are hoping that something will happen that will make Ruto lose election in 2027 without them working very hard to ensure that they put everything in place to ensure that Ruto goes home. You know, politics, you work hard to ensure that it works. There's no miracles in politics. If you don't strategize and invest very well in your time and resources, you cannot win. So if you hope that this person will come and join forces with the other person, and hopefully they will defeat the president, those are wishful thinking. So anybody who wants to remove Ruto from office in 2027 must work very hard to ensure that they put up a very strong team with the people who can attract the voters across the country, and so that they can give Ruto a run for his money. But in terms of predicting any working coalition for now, I think it is too early, because Raila's candidature for the AU seat will determine the political realignment towards 2027. If he wins, I believe it's going to be a very easy task for Ruto, because Raila's supporters are going to see Ruto as a friendly person to them, because he has helped him to secure that AU seat. But if he loses, it's going to complicate his political matrix, because Raila being unpredictable the way he is, he can join forces and vie against Ruto in 2027, and that will really make it very difficult for any serious candidate to defeat Ruto, because you know, the more the votes are divided, the easier it is for the president to retain his seat. Remember that even though right now we have a 50+1 rule that a president must win with 50+1, it is easier for the incumbent to ensure that we have several candidates, so that they especially from where he does not have good numbers, so that those votes will be shared among several candidates, and he can sail through very easily, getting 50+1. So for me, I think it's still early. We can predict after next year, February, after Raila wins or loses the AU seat. And also, Mutata, remember, he's expecting to receive feedback from his committee in, I think it's 18 months he said by 2026, I'm not very certain on that, but I think he said after 18 months they will advise him on the viability of his candidature. So I believe he's investing in that research because if you want to be a smart politician, research and have a data-driven decisions that are going to influence whatever you're going to do in future, so that whatever decision you take is backed by data that are reliable and verifiable, so that you don't just get yourself into the murky waters of an election without knowing that you can really get some votes that are substantial. So let us wait for.
Barak, just a minute. You've talked about him, him coming up with some experts, and this same thing is what Matiang'i also had proposed. We are being told that there's some experts, from international. So my question to you is, what is it that is so different that this time around 2027, everyone is talking about, they're doing some expert, they're trying to collect some data. We've never heard of these things. What is so different this time around that is making them to come up with committees,
Because they are new into the game, I believe so. You know what the reason why I'm seeing Omtata being a serious contender is because he has appointed a local committee, and he even gazetted the names, and others you even know them. So Matiang'i, I think he went for the guy who's helped the Botswana candidate to win election. That's a foreign expert. He does not understand the dynamics of our local politics. So the reason why I'm think Mumtata is taking a very bold move, and that can make him a serious candidate, is because he is investing in local experts who are going to advise him on his viability to become a presidential candidate in 2027. So that is the way to go. Sometimes politicians do these things, but they are not made public, so you might not understand what they've done. But Mtata is making everything public so that the people understand what he's doing. So I believe that's a bold move. Let him receive feedback from his committee and advise him accordingly whether he can be viable. And I believe once they have advised him that his candidature is viable, then the next move will be who can he name as his running mate, so that together they become a force to reckon with. Because in Kenya, the balancing act of regional balance and everything, running mate also matters a lot. If your Mutata comes from Western Kenya, I believe the running mate must come from the other side, so that even he meets the constitutional threshold. So I think for now, I cannot say that I can predict that until we see the coming events of the AU elections, and also the feedback of that Mumtata committee. I think will inform us because the AU's election is very key in determining 2027 elections direction. So let us wait for that, and so that we can make some accurate prediction as we head towards 2027. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Megoda, what do you have to say about, everyone coming for presidency? And so they're coming up with some, they say strange things that we've not seen as Kenyans. Or it could be they've been happening, but maybe we've not been aware of such. They're coming up with experts, or some are going within the country, some are Matiang'i is coming with an international expert. What is so strange this time around that is, they're trying to use they're trying to use experts in, getting into the field. What is your take? And you can also give us a possibility of a union that you think can make it. I know you're a good supporter of Babu Owino. You can also tell us if with the union of Babu Owino and who you are seeing a possibility of them winning 2027 election.
First, I'd like to begin with the issue of Babu Owino. Babu Owino is not going to vie for presidency. Whatever Okia Mtata and Matiang'i are doing, Babu Owino have done those things like 2 years ago, and he has been advised properly that he cannot win presidency come 2027. So he's not going to come to win. He's not going to run for the presidency. He's still in the balance between Nairobi governor and defending his Embakasi seat. So by 2026, he will make a public declaration whether he's going for the Nairobi governor or he's going for the Embakasi seat. It will depend on the political dynamics of that time. So for Babu Owino, no presidency 27. That I can assure you. According to me, this thing of appointing committees, some are appointing local, some are appointing international. It may be we are in the season of experts. You know, when Raila was asked about the people in government, he said that those are experts. He has noted expert. Expert means that someone who can bring something that is a bit new to the person who was earlier in that office. It means that whatever they're trying to create perspective, you know, politics is about perspective. They're trying to create perspective that, like Omtata is trying to tell the people that I'm not hungry for power. I've not declared that I'm going to become president. I must be advised properly from the people. So it is the select committee expert that have done the research. I have come up with the following provision or the following recommendations or resolution on how we can go on with this presidential thing. So it's trying to appeal to the people that even though I'm going to run for this seat, I'm not hungry for the power. I'm not thirsty. I just want to ensure that I present myself to the people of Kenya in a manner that it is well researched and well known from a point of view that I have something to present to the people of Kenya. I'm not pushing. Matiang'i appointing international experts. To him, he's persuaded that the guy in Botswana won because of the expert. But doesn't mean that the expert can make you to win. You can win through many things. You don't need experts. Those are just grounds that you're trying to lay. So Matiang'i, when you want to run for the presidency, there are things he should consider. Omtata is a bit ahead of the people who are coming to the game. You know, Omtata was elected as the Busia senator with his own political party in Azimio. So when it comes to matter of political party, he has the political party. When it comes to the matter of proposal, many people are proposing, including our panelists here. They are proposing him. So he's ahead of Matiang'i. When it comes to matters of corruption, he has not been mentioned. Matter of extrajudicial killing, he has not been mentioned. Unlike Matiang'i, which we have some questions to ask him. Going forward, the issue of expert is something not new, but it is the political talk of the town that we must bring something to do with experts so that it can create attention to the people that the candidature was proposed by the experts. So that's how politics work. That's how politics work. It always comes some words sometimes. So you have to go with the trend of the town.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. KK, you mentioned Okia Omtata. Okia Omtata is an activist who has stood by the people of Kenya. He has really fought for the people of Kenya in the corridors of justice, you know, and he has been mentioned by the Gen Zs and so many people. My question to you, Mr. KK, is what do you think Omtata should do so that he can clinch this power? Because what we need in this country currently, we need someone who can transform the nation. We need someone who can bring back the lost glory. Mr. KK, you are a Kenyan. You understand the Kenyan politics. Kindly give us your opinion on what you think he should do so that he gets into this position.
I think his track record is good. I think he needs to get the right people around him. and not get the tarnished people around. Because this is what all of us can see. Assuming like you don't even vote, you can see what's wrong with the system. All these people. I can imagine all of us grow up here, seeing the same people in power for long. So, and if that system has not been working, we can all agree that it barely worked during Kibaki's time. But we need serious people. And we need to have serious conversations about serious people. So I think he needs serious people, people who can mobilize. Kila mtu anamjua. And I think that's what people are they're missing the point, you know. Is politics sijui ya mountain, sijui Kamba, sijui Luos. That's now a kind of an old thing now. It might be very present, but kila mtu anaumia. Even in the mountain, the old people, those Togegas, now they know politics is not a thing that you joke with, because politics have life consequences. So let's be sober-minded as we engage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. KK. Politics has life consequences. Very true. I agree with you. I think now we'll be closing. Mr. Barak, I'll give you a chance to give us your last remarks as we close. What do you want to tell the people of Kenya? What do you want to tell our viewers as we await for the next election, and also as we await, as we're in the move of trying to make this country a country that, we can be proud of. We are on that route and we are on that way. What do you want to tell the people of Kenya before we close the show?
Well, thank you so much, Mark, and thank you so much, our viewers, for your time and your comments and your participation in tonight's session. We really appreciate. And my last comment is that I just want to tell people who are who are eyeing the presidency in 2027. I just want to inform them that we have a huge population in this country that are not even on social media, and they are very, very critical voters. So if you depend on social media alone and hope that you will win the presidency, you need to think twice. You need to ensure that you have a voting bloc with a good grassroots mobilization, because that is where you will get millions of votes from the grassroots, people who can be reached not using social media, but using these small barazas and these chamas, our mamas, zile za mtaa at home. So let them strategize, let them plan, and let them have that in mind. But hoping that a miracle will happen because of people who are on X or where are calling your name, then I think that is living in a different world. And if we continue living in that kind of world, then we'll never change our society, because we need a collective effort to change this country. Collective effort from people from the urban centers and also from the rural setup, so that we combine forces and ensure that we put government in place that can transform how we are governed as a country, and can bring policies that can transform the lives of the millions of people in this country who are suffering and who are feeling hopeless because of how the government is running down the country. So thank you so much for always joining Brother Benson Media. We don't take your support for granted. We are looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And those who love football like myself, you know what happened today. Kuna dereva na abiria wamekufa pamoja mahali. So tomorrow we know we are going to close the gap on these small teams that are ahead of us. So we continue enjoying the game. See you tomorrow, and have a blessed night, a blessed day, a blessed wherever you are. Asanteni sana, and continue supporting Brother Benson Media. Inshallah.
Okay, asante. We Barak, hawezi kosa. I think we ni mtu wa Arsenal. Watu wa Arsenal ndio wako na hiyo kiburi.
Hey, please, usiniharibie jina bana. Mimi si mtu wa Arsenal. Usinihusishe na Arsenal hata siku moja tafadhali. Mimi ni Manchester United. Before nizaliwe nilikuwa Manchester United na sisi ndio Kiburi FC.
Hey, the kiburi in you. Anyway, that's okay. Mr. Migoda, what do you have to say to the people of Kenya as we close the show? Which advice would you want to leave the people with? Before you also tell us if kama hii kiburi ya Man U, unajua wewe pia ni mtu wa Man U, imekufikia. Naona Gypsy Kona pia anasema yeye ni mtu ya amesema thanks Tottenham Hotspur. Then anasema tena Liverpool FC still on top. Okay, I think Gypsy ana support Liverpool. Mambo imechamka na sasa, kesho tutakuja kujua ni nani mwenye muziki na kina nani wameenda kuku. Anyway, Mr. Migoda, what is your take?
My final thought to the people of Kenya be like, we the people of Kenya, we are a great country, and whenever we are making a decision politically, let us be objective. Let us not have emotions. You know, it affects even our political analysts that they do analyze politics with emotions. You have to force things like the things which are unrealistic. Gachagua, Natembea, Kalonzo, in play. That one, let us just be objective when we are analyzing our politics of the country. And what I was seeing is that Matiang'i, Omtata, and Ruto are now perceived to be Western candidates. What about the central candidate? That's a discussion of another day, Makubura. If you are preparing another discussion, to discuss whereby Omtata is coming from Western region, Matiang'i Western region, Ruto now is a Western candidate. What is the matrix going on there? What about the candidate from the central region of the country? So the people of Kenya should be objective in their looking at the things. Let us not be tribal. Let us not have disunity. Let us be united. And politics is not enmity. It's just about interest. And whenever your interest is served, well and good. Whenever my interest is served, well and good. Let us always be together as a country and support one another. Let us not be divided along our tribe, religion, or any other factor. Currently, we are faced with the political dynamics of the country and the main things that are happening. It is informed with our past as a country that whenever we are in the crisis or political formations, there is how historically we are making it to become what it is for the future. Going forward, let us support Raila Odinga in his bid for the AUC because it will work a lot in the coming election, whether he wins or he loses. But we wish him all the best as patriots and wish him that he wins, because you know when he wins, it will be a good thing for the Kenyan people, the East Africa, because this is our time. I've told that customarily this seat rotates. It's a rotational seat. So whenever our time passes, maybe next time when it will come back to East Africa, they will say that the previous time we gave it to Kenyan people to mess your chance. Now let us give it to the Tanzanian or the Ugandan. So let us support him and we hope that he wins. So the next time, when it come back, it will be a time for East Africa. Even if you go to Tanzania or Uganda, at least Kenya, at one point, I've had their person as the AUC chairperson. Makobura, the issue of football has come in. And we are still supporting Manchester United. we have not stopped supporting Manchester United. I was looking at the tomorrow squad from our current new coach, Ruben Amorim. I was seeing a scenario whereby Bruno Fernandes might miss tomorrow's squad. It's very unfortunate. You know, Bruno Fernandes is a creative midfielder. We need him more in this match because we need to win this match, not only by winning it, but we need more goals, because by winning with at least 4 goals or 3 goals, we are going to create more chances for the club when we are climbing. That's why I needed someone like Bruno Fernandes, creative midfielder, to come in and play. We do not know how the new manager Amorim is going to put his squad. The same way we need Bruno in all our games as a creative midfielder. That's the same way the so-called Okia Mtata need creative players in his formation to beat William Ruto. Without creative team players in his political formation, without logistics, he is not going anywhere. You know, football and politics, they are the same. The way we are seeing, for us to win tomorrow's match, we need a creative midfielder so that we can win that game and we can move forward. Vis-a-vis Okia Mtata, the favorite candidate right now, need a creative group or a creative team player amongst him for him to win against William Ruto in 2027. See you next time, Makubura. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak, Mr. Meguda, Mr. KK. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us in the studio. We really appreciate. We don't take it for granted. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, we kindly request you to subscribe to the channel, because it is a way of supporting us as a channel, and we will really appreciate. To our consistent viewers at the comment section, thank you so much, Gypsy Corner and KK and Douglas and everyone who commented. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you took your time to comment, to converse with us. We don't take it for granted. Asante sana, and we request that you always join so that you can also give us your opinion. I'm also taking this opportunity to give thanks to my panelists. Asante sana kwa kukuja na kutupea maoni yenyu. I'm taking this opportunity to wish you a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening. And thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you tomorrow. Asanteni sana.